how did I went from studying philosophy to working as a front-end developer. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit of my transition from studying philosophy to working as a front-end developer. So this video won't be very technical. If you want me to do a video about what do you need to learn and to know in order to achieve this type of job, and what you really have to do and what you really don't need to do as a beginner, I can definitely do a video like that. Make sure to write me in the comment and I would make it very gladly. But also I know I'm not the perfect person to do this type of video, and luckily for you, in this video I will tell you which sources did I use, and so you can also go there and see like those information from person that really know what they are talking about. So for what concerns me, I want to do a video that can encourage you to really explore what you want to do, and that can encourage you to take a decision that maybe you are too afraid to take. And I hope to give you like a little inspiration in some way in order to achieve what you really want to achieve. So as I said, I studied philosophy for 5 years, and I studied my bachelor in Pavia, the city in which I was born, and then I did a master here in Trento. I moved here in Trento because I wanted to do a very specific thesis, and I did that. And yeah, the story is very long and complicated. It's not for this video, and also I'm very sensitive about this topic, so maybe one day. But what you need to know is that I really enjoyed like my path and my experience at the philosophy university. I will do that again, and yeah, it was literally all what I needed in this certain time of my life. Then for a lot of reasons I decided that it was not my way. It could have been, but the reality is different than what I was expecting, and yeah, I just decided at a certain point of my life that it was not like my field, you know? So here my history began. So what happened? That I moved here with the COVID, and it is not a very important part of the story, but just to tell you that a lot of people reacted differently to the COVID, and me specifically, I just had to keep myself busy, so I did a lot of exams in a very few time. I burned myself, my brain just exploded, but I finished all my exams and I already started my thesis within a year and a half. So I could graduate it in a year and a half. And when I realized that I didn't wanted to do research in my life, it was at the end of this year and a half. So it was like I ran so fast, I did so much stuff in order to be able to start the master before and whatever, and just not the master, sorry, like the research part. I don't know how to say that in English, as usual. But yeah, I was running a lot and I didn't know anymore where I was running. So I took a step back, and it was with a lot of drama, but I just tried to focus about what do I want to achieve in my life, because it was clear that it was not the university. It was clear that it was not teaching, even though I love teaching so much. But yeah, I did all what I had to do in order to be able to teach and to do all the like state tests in order to be able to teach at schools. But yeah, it was definitely not what I really wanted to do. So my boyfriend encouraged me to do something that I want to encourage you to do too. And what he said is that it's like, if you don't know which type of job do you want to do, what do you want to achieve in your life? And this is something that it's very important, because if you don't know where to go, what you can do is try to understand where you do not want to go, and try to understand what are the different things that you want to achieve. And so you can find a way that maybe is not specifically what you want to do, but that allow you to do what you really want to have in your life. And I knew that I wanted like 3 specific things. Like the first one, I wanted to be able to travel. The second one, I wanted to have a family relatively young. And the third one was I wanted like a financial stability. Of course, those are not the only thing that I wanted. one of them was not like included like in the programming packet, and I'm trying to achieve also that goal with YouTube, and I hope it will be the tool. If it's not, maybe I will find something else, but yeah, definitely I wanted those 3 things. And he told me he is doing the science. I already said that a lot of times in those videos, I'm sorry, but he told me that it does exist a type, a field of programming that is like easier, if we can say that, than what he was doing, which required a university, and that with a lot of effort and with his help and a lot of free sources, and this is the good part, I'm coming there, I will be able to achieve a job which was allowing me to have a financial stability, to be able to travel, because a lot of the front-ender works are like, and the programming work in general are full remote, and that having those things, it is possible to have a family pretty early. Like, not pretty early, but just in the range of time in which I would love to have like a family. So here my travel started, and what did I do? I did very few at the beginning because my boyfriend really took care about all the organization, and I I hope to be, and maybe I can be this person that can help you organize, like, you, if you want to have like the same experience as me, or like you want to go in the same direction as me, and you don't know where to start. He made a list of all what I really needed to know in order to achieve like a job that was related with front-end developer. And what you really need to learn is HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. You do not need anything else in order to start. It is good also to have Bootstrap, Sass, React, Angular, a knowledge of Docker, a knowledge of CI/CD. But I don't want to stress you out a lot with a lot of names that really you do not need at the beginning. If you have time, if you want to have all and you want to do a lot, you can do that, and it is perfect. The most you know, the better it is. But if you just want to see a little bit of it and just want to have the basics, anything that you cannot do without, those 3 are what you're looking for. Knowing what I needed to learn, then the next step was trying to understand how to learn it. There are a lot of courses that are not free, and you follow classes and you pay for it, and then they try to like connect you with companies, and it is totally fine. But I didn't want to spend a lot of money, and I was still working on my thesis, so I didn't want to like change all my direction, and just I wanted to do a very good thesis and also try to look a little bit about it. So what I did was completely free. I paid 0 cents. I didn't pay anything, and it was perfect for me, and also I find a job within those 6 months, so I can see and I can tell that it works. So the main sources that I used were Coursera and YouTube. And for the majority of my knowledge, I have to say thank you to YouTube. So this is also the reason why I do not really want to do a video of like the technical stuff that you need to know. Maybe I can give you a list, maybe I can have like a video of the specific things that you have to know and what you can skip and what you can't, and something like that. But like, I'm sure that for a pretty good knowledge about all those stuff, there are a lot of people that are very good at it on YouTube, so I really encourage you to go there. And I don't really remember like the channels that I saw really, because it was like more than a year ago, but I can tell you that right now, because I wanted to learn React and whatever, I really found very useful the channel of NinjaNet. He is very funny, he is very good at what he does, and he doesn't give anything for granted. So he started really from the basics, and he like guide you step by step, and I don't know, I find him very clear and very good at what he does, as I already said, so I really recommend to you him. But really you can find a lot of videos and different people and different approaches, so really feel free just to take a look. And yeah, I think that for those 3 things that I told you, almost every video is good, and I also recommend you to don't just see a video or like a range of videos. I encourage you to also like change a little bit. Maybe I will see, maybe HTML and CSS are more like easy, so you can just see a channel of one and a channel of the other, or the same like channel but one like list of video from one topic and one list of video for the other. But for JavaScript, for example, I would recommend you to do a lot of exercises and also to see different point of view. So maybe you can see Ninjanet and maybe someone else, and the more you hear about it, the more you practice, the most good you become. Another thing that I did and that was so useful, and really it was a completely different approach than what I was used in philosophy, is that you have to try by yourself. In philosophy, you before have to really understand what you are studying, and then you can talk about it. And in programming is the opposite. You don't know anything of what you are talking about, and you won't improve yourself if you don't put in practice what you are still learning. So every time that you learn something, make sure that at the same time you are doing it also on your computer. So download from the first day Visual Studio or whatever the YouTube channel is telling you to download. I use Visual Studio, and also in my job I use Visual Studio, and all the world use Visual Studio. But yeah, make sure to really like follow the steps that your mind is doing on the computer. So if they are doing, and they always are, some project or some little piece of project, or they do some examples on the internet, you make sure to do the same on your computer. You just can copy them, and you don't have to do that by your own. You have to copy them, listen to them, understand what they are doing, maybe go back and try to listen again, and then you write whatever you want, but make sure that you are not just listening and saying, oh yeah, I got it, because a lot is memory, and your brain has to be trained to think in a certain way, and also just doing that is very manual. The more you do, the more you learn. And even better, if you find yourself like with the strength, and I really recommend to you to do that, just try on your own. Maybe you just will do a little page, a little stupid page like I did, but it will make you very comfortable with yourself because you did something by your own. You really consolidate what you learned, and also you have something also to show maybe to a company sooner or later. Also, if it's very simple, it shows that you tried and you are doing something. So very important also that. With that said, the next 6 months of my life were thesis and videos and programming, and thesis and videos and programming. And after, like, sorry for the change of light, but it is very cloudy. So after those 3-4 months, a friend of mine that you saw maybe in my other channel, she recommended me, or just sent me an announce, which was about a company that I won't say the name, and they were looking for people to train. So I did some calls, and at the end they wanted me. So I did a month of full-time internship with them, and at the end of it I was so much better in programming. I was so much conscious about what I knew, and I consolidated a lot what I thought I knew, but in a deeper level. And at the end they asked me to work with them. I said no, because I wanted to graduate first, and I wanted to graduate well, because as I said, I moved here because of this thesis, so I wanted it to be good and as I wanted. They told me that they were going to wait for me until September because I graduated in July, but yeah, at the end I find another company that is the one in which I'm working right now in Trento, and yeah, so now I'm here. And how did I found my company? It was for a career fair that my university was doing. I had to have a call with them like early in May, but at the end I did this call like the week of my graduation. And it was a blast, because the day that I was supposed to have this call, I couldn't, because I was doing like the exam with this company that I was telling you about, so it was a little, not the best. But luckily I already said no to this company, and so when they show up I was completely free. Also I was graduating, so it was perfect timing for me, and they asked me like more humanistic question and also more technical question. They say that they wanted me, and I had the very good luck of be able to ask for holidays. So I started to work with them in September, and so I had all July and August of freedom and relax. So I tried to burn again and just try to discover myself again, and just I really was very stressed out, so it was good for me to just stop, relax and connected with myself and with the world. And yeah, it was great for me. So this was my story, and I don't know if you were really interested in my story. If you were, I'm happy to have entertained you in a way. But if you clicked on this video because you want to change your career or you want to change your path and go to a different direction, I want to tell you that you can. You have to take in count that you will need a lot of effort. You will need your time. You will need a strategy, a plan, but you can do whatever you want. And I am relating also to my last video that I did last week, in which I say a little bit of what I think about what we can and we cannot do. But for staying in this context, I just want to tell you that if you want to change it all, you can change it all. And if in the specific you want to go from philosophy to front-end developer, back-end developer, whatever it is that has to do with programming and that does not include a university, you can definitely do that. And if you want to do something that implies the university, I encourage you to do that too, because you are not too old or you're not out of timing to change it all. And the time is relative. No one has the same timing because no one has to arrive to the same spot. So take your life as a unique life that just you can run, and run it in the best way possible for yourself and without hurting anyone for sure, but run your path and also enjoy your travel. And if it's not programming, if it's, I don't know, economy, or at the opposite, maybe you are programming and you want to switch to philosophy, welcome. Feel free to join us. But yeah, definitely nothing that is important for you is a waste of time. It is important to you to have this very clear in your mind, and I hope with that in mind and with like all your effort and your passion, I hope you to arrive wherever you wish to arrive. So yeah, the light is also back, and I just wanted to say thank you for have arrived here, and I wanted to encourage you to click the subscribe button and also to write in the comment if you would like me to have like a more in-depth video about what are the steps that I did like more specifically. So yeah, with that said, I hope to see you soon in my next video, and I wish you a very good day and a very good life. Bye.